Hello there, this is our finger puppet management midterm. We are Team 5, the hash slinging slashers. The topics we'll be covering are management styles, management structure. We're also going to cover managerial ethics, authoritative power distribution, as well as strategic implementation. The target audience for SpongeBob is 6 to 11 years old. However, people from all ages enjoy the comedy animation. The setting takes place on the bottom of the ocean floor, with the main character being made out of a sponge. We want our TV show to be entertaining and eye-catching for the kids, to introduce them to management concepts in the most entertaining ways possible. We'll discuss main management concepts throughout our TV show, such as autocratic management style, the Y theory, inefficiency, control, management processes, managerial ethics, strategic implementation, managerial and employee relationships as well. So for the characters that we have in SpongeBob SquarePants, we have SpongeBob, the main character. He's a cook at Krusty Krab. He's hardworking, high-spirited, has good work ethic, and is a workaholic. Eugene Krabs is the founder and owner of Krusty Krab Management. Management style centers around what will get him the most profit. He must be better than the Chum Bucket. That's the competing restaurant. He makes his employees do what will get him the most money, even if it's not in their best interest. Squidward is another character. He's a cashier at Krusty Krab. He's cynical and pessimistic. Doesn't like working at Krusty Krab. He's always bored, gets annoyed with SpongeBob easily. And he plays his clarinet in his spare time. Plankton is another character. He's the owner of the Chum Bucket. He's Mr. Krabs' ex-best friend. His restaurant is a failure. His management style centers around trying to steal Krabby Patty formula. Obtaining the KPF would lead to the downfall of Krusty Krab. On to Patrick Star. He is SpongeBob's best friend, lives under a rock, supports SpongeBob in his daily life struggles. We also have Pearl. She's a whale, daughter of Mr. Krabs, who is a crab. She has crab wrapped around her little finger. He will do anything at any cost for her. And a whale came from a crab, so that's interesting. Then we got Sandy, a squirrel, lives underwater in Bikini Bottom, must wear an astronaut suit to breathe, is friends with SpongeBob, very smart, invented a dome to live in that traps air so she can breathe. She's very kind and understanding, and when it comes to SpongeBob and Patrick, she's a tomboy, and hobbies include karate, bodybuilding, and being a rodeo champion. And next we have Heidi Klum. She's a model, and she's visiting Bikini Bottom for a photo shoot. We have Ariel. She's a mermaid, visiting Bikini Bottom for the month to perform at Krusty Krab. Now, episode 1 is called Hire and Fire. SpongeBob begins his first day of work at the Krusty Krab. He is first called into the office of his boss, Mr. Krabs, and is given a quick introduction as to what is expected from his employees. SpongeBob quickly learns from Mr. Krabs' autocratic management style and realizes that his want for money supersedes the want and needs of his employees. However, he is in desperate need of a job to quit already. SpongeBob chooses to employ a positive attitude and carries it with him as he now joins his coworker, Squidward, in the kitchen for training. The Krusty Krab runs their authoritative power based off the Y theory, where power is distributed from Mr. Krabs through management and trickling down to the rest of his employees. And there's the Krusty Krab. Got pictures of SpongeBob and Squidward. After SpongeBob has completed his first week of training, it is now time for him to manage the kitchen by himself. It just so happens that his first official week on the job also coincides with Comic-Con weekend, where all comic fans from Bikini Bottom and nearby cities of Westeros and Hogsmeade come to celebrate their fandom. Since the Krusty Krab has high quality food for a reasonable price, it is evident that the convention attendees will choose to stop there for nourishment. SpongeBob is new to the kitchen and therefore is not proficient at all the recipes. Comic-Con attendees come pouring into the Krusty Krab and SpongeBob quickly becomes flooded with orders. In order to prevent customers from leaving the restaurant due to inefficiency, which will result in the loss of revenue, Mr. Krabs begins to yell at SpongeBob in an effort to make him work faster. This quickly proves to not be the correct way to control employees within the management process, and SpongeBob loses focus and the grill becomes ignited with flames. The next day, after the fire inspector came to assess the damages in the kitchen, Mr. Krab calls SpongeBob into his office. After a long night of pondering, Mr. Krabs chooses to apologize to SpongeBob, recognizing that the fire was partially his fault due to the immense amount of pressure he put on SpongeBob to complete those orders so quickly. Worried about losing a few customers, turned out to lose him more money through expenses that incurred due to the fire damages. Mr. Krabs ultimately decided that he would no longer behave this way in an effort to keep his employees happy. Episode 2. Make me money now. Down at the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs has been thinking lately of buying a very expensive boat. He recently heard that famous model Heidi Klum will be visiting Bikini Bottom in the near future for a photo shoot, and he's thinking that a yacht is his best bet at winning her over in attempts to steal her heart. To make more money to afford the boat, he needs to increase Krusty Krab's monthly and weekly sales overall. Mr. Krabs decided to go through the sales report and see what he could do, see what days could use more customer traffic. Judging from the numbers, he decides that Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays all need revamping to increase daily sales. Being the greedy and impatient boss that he is, Mr. Krabs wants improvement, and he wants it now. He decides to take it to his employees, SpongeBob and Squidward, to look for suggestions and solutions. The three sit down and talk for a few hours until they finally come up with a solution for each day. Squidward points out that lobster is a hit in restaurants right now. The restaurant down the street does a special on lobster on Thursdays, and they're always so busy that they sell out. Mr. Krab agrees to the solution. His cousins are lobsters, and he worries that family will hate him. Managerial ethics becomes a concern here. Regardless of his responsibility, Mr. Krabs is willing to take that chance to increase sales and put the extra cash toward his new boat, regardless of his guilty conscience or disapproval of his family. They decide that that's a great solution for Tuesday. As for Wednesday, SpongeBob brings up that there is a sizable local volleyball league that plays tournaments every Wednesday. After proper deliberation and reaching out to the league, Krusty Krab decides to offer a sponsorship to the volleyball players. After their tournament is over, when they finally come into the restaurant, their first beverage, alcoholic or not, is free, and all food is 25% off. This guarantees an automatic 35 to 50 more people coming in on Wednesday nights. This guaranteed sales increase and makes the discount offered to the players more than worth it. It also allowed the volleyball team to eat, drink, and socialize. It was a win-win for everybody. As for Thursdays, Mr. Krab decides he wants to spice things up a bit. He thinks enough people go out on Thursday nights, and he thinks Krusty Krab could use some live entertainment. He decides to hire Ariel, also known as the Little Mermaid. She has the most beautiful voice in the entire Pacific Ocean, and he feels confident she would draw a significant crowd. Mr. Krabs reaches out to her and books her for every Thursday for the rest of the month. This will draw in residents from Bikini Bottom because now they can get dinner and a show. Mr. Krabs is demonstrating strategic implementation. After formulating a strategy, a manager must effectively implement it for the desired results to materialize. 2 weeks later. After the implementation, sales have gone up by 20%. Mr. Krabs, Squidward, and SpongeBob all are very happy. Heidi Klum ends up blowing off Mr. Krabs because she is already married, but he is okay because he realized money is his one true love. Episode 3. Managerial Ethics. Squidward wants to come into work late, so he asks SpongeBob to clock him in at the Krusty Krab so he doesn't get caught. SpongeBob has an ethical dilemma because he doesn't think it is right, but he also doesn't want him to get fired. Reluctantly, SpongeBob clocks him in anyways. Patrick tells him he shouldn't have done it and asks him, what would the Krusty Krab be like if everybody did that? SpongeBob agrees that it is better to be socially responsible. It causes trouble in employer relationships and future miscommunication between SpongeBob and Squidward. After Squidward appears at his workplace, SpongeBob tells Squidward he can't do it ever again, and he gets mad at SpongeBob and goes for a walk. He sees Plankton, who asks him why he's upset. Squidward says he's tired of getting up early for work, and he's thinking about quitting working at the Krusty Krab. Plankton offers him a job and tells him he can come in late every day as long as he gives him the Krabby Patty formula. Squidward is facing another ethical dilemma of either staying loyal by working at the Krusty Krab or leaking confidential information for his own personal gain. SpongeBob convinces Squidward to protect the secret of Krabby Patty from the competitor by reminding him of all the stakeholders involved. Not only might SpongeBob lose his job if the Krusty Krab closes, but everyone else who worked there would as well. We have completed our milestone 1. We have also completed milestone 2 after this. We will have the midterm. Our future plans are going to be milestone 3. And also our presentation that we did tonight. Our challenges as a team and ways to improve. As a new team, we had a few challenges to conquer. By the end of the semester, we hope to become knowledgeable on the subject of management and improve our skills. Mostly it's time management, team approach, communication with team members, and have fun while learning about management.